Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video now. During the week, I spoke about Bolton Wanderers and what on there. Today, I'm talking about Birmingham City. They've just been deducted 9 points. We've all seen this over the last 24 hours. It came in yesterday sort of afternoon, morning. I've seen it on Sky Sports News, etc. Birmingham City deducted the 9 points for breaching the rules of the FFP, being the financial fair play. So I thought to myself, well, I'm going to have to do a report on it. So I've got loads of stuff written down. I've also taken the Talk Sport and the Birmingham Live as my articles, obviously on my laptop, which is to the side of me here. And I've also written down on an A4 piece of paper loads of stuff regarding this whole madness that's gone on at Birmingham City. Now, who do I feel sorry for the most? The fans, yes. The club itself, I can't really feel much sorry for them because they must have known what was going on behind the scenes in order for this to happen and other things to be breached. But for the fans that don't really have a say or anything, or can't really, you know what I mean, stop this from happening, that's what I feel sorry for. The fact that there could be members get relegated, it's a possibility now, 5 points from the relegation zone. Whereas before, do you know what I mean, they were pretty much safe. It's not looking good for Birmingham right now. The whole club's sort of a mess from this whole 9-point deduction. I think everybody knew it was coming as well, do you know what I mean? There was a lot of talk around it and whatnot. Everyone knew it was coming. And what articles I've got here is, I've basically got about the deduction, about Birmingham City pleading guilty to it and everything else. And I've also got former manager Harry Redknapp, who I can't sort of disregard. I've got to sort of bring him in. And not a personal dig at Harry Redknapp, because you know what he is, I find quite an amusing person. But for the financial fair play in football, QPR have been through it, Southampton have been through it, and Portsmouth have been through it, whilst Harry Redknapp's either managed there or been there as manager. So I have to talk a little bit about that as well. He also came out and did an interview on this whole financial fair play, which I found quite interesting. So like I say, you know what I mean, I will tell you all about it as soon as it happens. But as I say, Birmingham City, they deducted 9 points in for a breach and then an aggravated breach of the financial fair play rules, FFP. And they have actually dropped down from 50 points to 41 points, and they've gone from 13th down to 18th. And now they're only 5 points above the relegation zone. It's quite a serious matter for Birmingham. You know, if these lads do end up getting relegated, the fans will be probably in uproar. The fans will be absolutely fuming because let's be real, they were pretty much safe in the league. I don't think they were going to go up, or maybe they could have gone up. Maybe he's gone up into the playoff places, but either or, they were going to be mid-table. You know what I mean? They're going to be safe for another season, rebuild, and the summer go again. You know, when the 9-point deduction came in, if these get relegated, it might mean that they have to cut wages off next year. You know what I mean? Players might have to leave. And it doesn't look good for them, you know. So what Birmingham City's actually done wrong? Well, it is a confusing matter to look right into it and everything else. But basically, if you want to go from what I've just said there about the deduction of 9 points from a breach of the FFP rules, you can say that. But if you want to go more in depth, I've got it all written down here. And obviously, you know what I mean? You know, I should say, I got written down on a piece of paper. It's on my laptop as well, which I'll obviously tell you all in a minute about. But what the business done wrong is they've been deducted for breaching the league's profitability and sustainability rules, excessive spending over the past few seasons. The club have 14 days to appeal the decision for the championship table amend and immediate effect. So 14 days to try and appeal the 9-point deduction. If they obviously, you know what I mean, if they are successful, it won't happen. If they're not, then of course it will go ahead within the 14 days. And you know what I mean, it will see Birmingham drop right down to 18th and be 5 points off the relegation zone, which isn't ideal for them. But at the end of the day, do you know what I mean, they've made a mistake. Do you know what I mean, they've done something. They've also pleaded guilty to it. It was always going to happen. It follows a review of the financial submission for Birmingham for the 3-year period of 2015-16, 2017-18, where it was determined the club had recorded losses in the excess of the 39 million upper loss threshold. There's loads of stuff on this. Recent accounts revealed losses of 37.5 million in the last 12 months to the end of June 2018. Now, Harry Redknapp as well, I've got him written down here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this little bit off Talk Sport, which is quite an interesting bit, and it basically breaks it all down and tells you the insights of exactly what has led to this happening. It's a little bit long, so I'll let it say, man, I'm sorry if it bores you. On August 14th, 2018, the club was charged with a breach of those rules at a hearing on the 18th of March 2019. The club pleaded guilty to the charge, which obviously that meant it was always going to happen realistically. And after hearing representatives from both parties, the panel has fully considered the matter and ruled a 9-point deduction is appropriate. Like I say, you know what I mean, it could have been worse. I think it could have been 12 up to 15 points, but you know, it's a 9-point deduction, and I think people are starting saying that, you know what I mean, that's fair, which will take an effect in the current season, being the 14 days. The St Andrews outfit published their annual accounts in January with the excessive overspending clearly detailed, which I obviously told you about just then. Huge wage increases during Zola and Harry Redknapp's managerial sort of time at the club. So Birmingham spending a remarkable £202 for every £100 they brought in. The Championship club also recorded a loss of £37.5 million in a 12-month period of June 2018, which I've already just said then. The profitability and sustainability rules with those in the Premier League became effective in 2015-2016 season. Said an EFL spokesperson said 2017-2018 was the end of the first full reporting period, which Birmingham City, the only club found to have breached these requirements, which it incurred just in losses of £48.7 million, £9.7 million excess of the permitted losses. Now that's everything that I've pretty much explained to you there about the whole why enough Birmingham City has been deducted 9 points, etc. The main man that I do want to talk about though is the man who obviously I've already mentioned, Harry Redknapp. Now, he's obviously managed the clubs like QPR, Southampton and Portsmouth, and they've all been through the financial fair play. Now, it made me think to myself, even last night when I was sort of planning this video out, has Harry Redknapp got an answer for any of these things? Well, he's actually done an interview Harry Redknapp. You can do so by going to the birminghammail.co.uk site, and there is where you'll see the whole interview Harry Redknapp discussing basically his side of it. And I thought, well, it's best off mentioning it. So I have it here. It basically starts with the article by saying, what did Redknapp say? The veteran boss broke his silence on the Blues' financial struggles this week, claiming he wasn't in control of the transfers. Okay, fair enough, no problem. In an interview with The Telegraph, he said, it's surely down to the people who run the club, like the chief executive and the chairman or whoever, to know if we've got the money to spend. Now, it goes on a bit further to say, this is where he says, I didn't know about the financial fair play. I was never warned by anyone at the football club that there was going to be a problem with that. I say, there was 3 lads from Brentford that came in, being Jota, Hardy, Dean and Colin. They were all good players, but they weren't on my shopping list. Which, fair enough, you know, sometimes you do see that about sort of like the board or sign a player and maybe the manager doesn't want them in. You know what I mean? You see that. He also says, I'd never even seen any of them play, and they were brought in by other people above my head, which it happens, you know what I mean, it does happen. We brought in Isaac Vassell for £1 million from Luton Town, and he will be worth massive money in my opinion. It was an absolute bargain, but I can't even take credit for that, because it's nothing to do with me, to be truthful. I don't think any of the signings were mine. I was taking John Ruddy on a free transfer from Norwich, instead they brought in David Stockdale from Brighton. The director of football wasn't brought in by me either. So, from him saying that, by him saying that he didn't know, I guess you can say to yourself, well, you know what, I read that, fair enough, you know what I mean, if you didn't know, if you didn't have any sort of idea about the financial fair play, fair enough, but the bit that sort of triggers my head is, well, I read that, listen, I'm not trying to circle him out and trying to blame him for the whole thing, but as a football fan who's seen other clubs go through the financial fair play and have Harry Redknapp's name sort of brought up, it only makes you think to yourself, well, does he have to take some sort of blame? At the end of the day, Harry Redknapp is gone to the likes of QPR, Portsmouth, Southampton, and they've all gone through the financial fair play, gone to Birmingham, they've gone through it. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's heard about the losses that's happened to Birmingham City. Does he have to take some sort of the blame? I think he does, in my opinion. But like I say, you know, Birmingham's 9-point deduction, it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? Unless they, well, I don't know if they're going to go and appeal it. If they do appeal it, and just say if they do win, of course, then, you know what I mean, everything will be wiped. You know what I mean? The 9-point deduction probably won't happen. If they lose, it will happen. Do you know what I mean? They've got 14 days to appeal it. It's a really interesting story going on at Birmingham City at the minute. It's like I say, man, you know what I mean? If you do want to go and read anything that I did read out to you then, go to Talk Sport, go to the Birmingham Mail. It's all on there. And at the end of the day, what more can we do? You know, I'm a Butter fan, but I just thought it'd be really sort of interesting to bring this sort of story to you guys and try and bring you a bit more in depth. I hope I have done that. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. As always, like, comment, share and subscribe, and I will catch you guys again soon.